the Evergreen Media Network studios. Brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Hey, welcome back to Classic Car Radio, Vero Beach. I'm Keith McDonald here with Steve Charbonneau and Todd Byron, and I think Mike's still here. You still here, Mike?
Yeah.
I'm just checking. Okay, so anyway, we were just talking about the crazy guys that leave, a lot of younger guys, especially when they leave. And I just wanted to finish that article real quickly because it said it would be unfair to say that there isn't anything to Coffee and Cars claims. Muscle cars, especially Mustangs, have earned some notoriety for being linked to reckless behavior at car meets. A Mustang pulling out of a parking lot hungry for pedestrians is a time-honored meme. And Dodge Chargers and Challengers are common sights at street takeovers. The bottom line is they're cheap, powerful, and often loud, and they're easy cars to misbehave in. So let's.
Is that what they're calling it? You're misbehaving?
Misbehaving.
Nice.
I like those pedestrian hungry.
Yeah.
The Mustangs are definitely pedestrian
They
hungry.
call them crowd control.
Crowd control.
Crowd control. Yeah. There you go.
How can they be more misbehaving than a Chevelle or an older Chevelle?
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
most of these newer car shows now that they have the newer cars, so that they're outnumbering them.
Oh,
Oh,
look,
yeah.
when they first came out with the Hellcat, guys were crashing them left and right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They couldn't handle
the power.
right. They couldn't handle first one was 707 horse, right?
Yeah.
That was too much for them.
Yep.
And they were smashing them up, and they weren't going cheap either.
Nope.
Well, now you go to the car show, a lot of times you'll see, lately it's been newer cars, unless you go to like certain car shows. Like the couple weeks ago at the shop, we had more 70 Chevelles at the shop than we did at the last 3-4 car shows.
Right. You had a bunch of Chevelles at your shop. Yeah.
Huh.
We even had that famous black one.
That famous black one.
Yeah.
It's out of there now, though.
Right, the famous black one.
I feel bad for the person who tries to race that one.
He's afraid to drive that one.
That car will move.
That's funny.
Okay, we got one more news article, and then we'll jump into some history, which is always exciting.
Yeah, history.
I know you guys like the history lesson all the time.
Yeah.
This is just a pictorial that's on the drive.com. SEMA 2023 highlights, and it's just a slideshow. Custom builds from mild to wild, and it's an industry show, but you still see a lot of hot rods, super street stuff, and there's some great looking cars at SEMA. You're all familiar with SEMA.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was in Las Vegas, and they had they just took pictures of the drive photographer just put together a big slideshow of the best cars in that event. And it's worth checking out. I saw some beautiful cars, some really nice custom stuff. So there you go.
The guy from Count's Customers was bragging about it, so I guess he must have got a couple of his cars highlighted. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Steve, you've been to that, right, SEMA?
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
Loved it.
Yeah, it was good out there?
A lot of fun.
I went with Bennett Auto Supply, so we had to do a lot of their things, and then the last day I was like, what are they going to do, send me home? So I played hooky.
Right.
And I tried to see everything on the last day that I could. It's impossible.
Oh, really?
And you can't do it. There's 4 floors in this one building, 6 floors in the next, and then you try to hit everything. It was crazy. It was really wild, and I got to see a bunch of cool people.
Well, there's all vendors and stuff, right? And aftermarket stuff. And
I met the guys from, back then it was Twin Turbo, it was DeBerti, father and son.
Uh-huh.
Those guys are awesome. Funny as hell, nice as could be.
Now,
So,
where do they take over the convention center down there? Or is it? Oh, okay.
The convention center and like the whole parking lot and all the buildings there.
Really?
wow. So do you know who SEMA turns to when they have issues with the government trying to legislate stuff about, for older cars, muscle cars, etc., antiques? Bill Posey.
Yeah.
Bill Posey's the guy. Our congressman, is the one that fights for SEMA. The SEMA goes to our Bill Posey every time because he will go in there and fight for him.
Yep.
And he's the guy, even NASCAR calls him our car guy in Congress, too. NASCAR, believe it or not.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Sir Bill.
Yeah. Bill Posey's
so make sure
up in Melbourne.
he's a conservative, so I don't think we can say vote for him, can we? Can we say that? We don't know. He's conservative.
a
He's
gray
not
area.
conservative. We'll find out next week. We'll let you know.
Well,
All right, let's
if
do
he's
some
the guy,
history.
why not?
But
Yeah.
he's been our congressman since I moved here.
Yeah,
so
for a long time.
he's
yeah.
not going anywhere.
Right.
He's a good guy. Went to a car show with him once. Oh, well, I went to Meekum with him,
Right.
and he could swear like the rest of us. He was so funny. I'm like,
He's
that's
just
my
an
congressman
Average
talking
ordinary
like that.
guy, then.
Yeah. He's your average guy.
Yeah, he is very average, very much the car guy. Anyway, history. Let's go. November 5th, 1895. I'm sure all your ears are glued to this.
Oh, yeah.
Rochester attorney George
Selden.
Selden. He wins a U.S. patent for a improved road engine powered by a liquid hydrocarbon engine of the compression type, which is gas. With that, as far as the government was concerned, he had invented the car, though he never once built a single car, but he did invent it.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, years later, he sued Henry Ford, and because he had the patent, and Henry Ford stole it, and Henry Ford won. So
Right.
he had the money.
Who had the money? Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So on November 6th, 1899, James Ward Packard tests the single-cylinder motor car bearing his name. I didn't know the Packard had a single.
1899?
1899.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't remember any of
Then
those
the
days.
Packard had
Yeah.
some major giant engines after that. Didn't they have like a V12? Didn't they have or was it a 10? Packard? I thought Dick Arbitel had Packard in there that he restored. It had a
V12 in
V-
it?
They had
V10.
straight eights in that. I didn't know about
well, no,
V10.
I thought they had a big one. But anyway, I seem to recall it was definitely a Packard. Anyway, I'll
Well,
have to
Todd
look
said,
that
it
one
might
up
have been
too.
a straight 8. that
Yeah,
you did.
could've-
Google it.
Right.
I'll have to Google that.
Go ahead. What else you got?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. You know, the best way to get an answer is ask your girlfriend on Facebook, and she'll, hey, what's the biggest engine Packard made? And then 60 guys will answer. You know. But if you ask, they'll say, Google it.
Yeah.
Okay. November 6th, 1998, President Clinton designates the automobile National Heritage Area in Detroit. And this designation restricted land use and drew attention to what Michigan Congressman John Dingell called the automobile's contribution to our history and economic strength and the role of organized labor in that history. So I guess he was owned by the unions.
Yeah.
And now it's all
Excuse me.
run
But anyway-
down to vacant land.
Yeah.
Yep.
And some of the buildings are still up because they saw a special on that.
Yeah, they are, and they're all trashed.
Some of the
and
old
stuff.
plants are
Yeah.
still up. I know the AMC plant is still up. That's still up.
And the
going.
the Ford one came up on the abandoned building thing. I actually watched it. They still had engines in the test rooms and stuff.
Right.
Left a lot of stuff behind.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get companies to move back in and renovate those buildings, and it's not working too well because Detroit, it's just not what it used to
Yeah.
be. You
Right.
know?
Like going to
Mhm.
Chicago. Who wants to go?
Exactly. Same thing, basically. I almost was killed in Detroit, so it was not fun.
Right.
But luckily, I stepped on my gas pedal and mashed my way out of it. I was being surrounded. November 7th, 1965, drag racer from Ohio named Art Arfron sets the land speed record at an average of 576.563 miles per hour. Can you imagine going that fast? Utah's Bonneville Salt Flats. That's just like a death wish. He was in a land ship, I'll call it, called the Green Monster, which he built himself out of surplus parts. 576 miles an hour.
Damn.
In 1965.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, you guys don't seem that impressed.
No.
We'll move on to the next one then.
I think if it's the same guy, I saw a car show the other day. I forget which channel it was on. I thought they were interviewing this guy here, and he's going for over 600. I think he's probably like in his 80s right now.
Yeah, he's got to be.
And he said he was going to hit the 600-mile mark
Wow.
in the same jet car that he had. They
Really?
were building jet cars, yeah.
Huh.
So, all right, go ahead.
Well, that was probably a jet car he had then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. November 9th, 1960, Robert McNamara was named president of Ford Motor Company. The new president was one of a group of bright executives known as the Whiz Kids that Ford had. He would leave Ford to become Secretary of Defense for John F. Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson. And I remember when I lived on Martha's Vineyard, the story was told many, many times. McNamara was the Secretary of Defense, and during the Vietnam War, some hippies taking the ferry across saw McNamara taking the ferry across, and they hung him off the side of the ship by his ankles.
Oh, really?
They were holding on to him, saying, "Stop the war! Stop the war!" And McNamara is upside down over the water, and that time of year is shark infested. They're all there for the seals,
Yeah.
the great whites, and all. Not a good idea to drop him in. But anyway, that's just a little story I had about
That's a little story,
McNamara.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've only done it off roofs. But that's another time.
Okay.
We do it behind cars.
Okay, and on November 10th, 1914, the first Dodge automobile was rolled off the assembly line some 100 years ago this week. And who would ever have guessed back then that they would make that wonderful car, the Horizon, The Dodge Horizon, such
Dodge
a beautiful...
the Omni and
the
Plymouth
K cars.
Horizon, yeah.
Plymouth Horizon.
Oh, the K
One of
cars
them
are
had one of those.
beautiful K cars.
You know why they named it the Horizon?
Why?
Because that's what you watch when it was broke down on the side of the road overnight.
Right.
The horizon. Here comes the sun.
Anyway, they named the car Old Bessie, and the vehicle cost $785, and only 249 were made in 1914.
Wow.
So November 10th, that was the 10th of 1914. And finally, news from the future. 53 days from now, we've been talking about Mecum for 3 weeks. Mecum at Kissimmee, Florida, their auction. What is it now? 4,000 cars.
Yeah.
It's expanded from.
We'll have to call John and find out what's the big number on that.
We'll have John Cramen on here from Mecum, the guy that's the voice of Mecum. He's on what channel are they on now? Mecum.
Motor Trend.
Motor Trend, yeah.
Yep.
So we'll have John call in as he traditionally does.
Yeah.
We'll get him back doing that. I was gone for 2 years for that.
Something like that.
But John, I still talk to him. You know why? Because we both are guitarists. That's why. John's a good guitar player.
Yes, he is.
Probably better than me. But anyway, Mecum takes place January 2nd through the 14th. And if we do this right, and I'm going to work on this, I promise, we give away tickets for Mecum. And I'm hoping that the guys from Mecum will give us some promotional tickets like they always did in the past.
Right.
Did the former host of this show do that? Get the
Yes.
tickets
Yeah.
from them and give away trivia? Good.
Yeah,
okay.
we went up there. A couple
good.
times.
Okay, good. All right, we're going to go on a quick break. We get back, we get some tech talk for you all. So stick around. This is a really fun tech talk this
Oh,
week.
boy.
Yeah.
Fun tech talk.
Whatever.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Offering 24/7 emergency services, Joe Scazzari Roof Services Consulting offers prompt handling of homeowners' insurance claims and has been serving the Treasure Coast for over 40 years. Scazzari's roofing experts can fabricate and install standing seam metal roofs on site, saving you thousands of dollars. And for those do-it-yourselfers, they can cut and fabricate your metal roof and deliver it right to your home or job site. Got a flat roof? Scazzari Roofing and Consulting specializes in all commercial and residential flat roofing systems. State certified and licensed, Scazzari Roofing and Consulting is family-owned and operated. Check out their website at roofservicesconsulting.com or give them a call at 772-388-7453 or toll free at 888-675-8106. Happy holidays from Scazzari Roofing and Consulting Contractors.
If you dream of creating a home with furniture where you make life one long weekend, visit Sunshine Furniture now and save 50% on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington during the fall savings event. Bedroom, living, and dining room, home office, media, and occasional furniture that is inviting and comfortable, Tommy Bahama and Lexington offer everything you need to furnish your Florida home. We're also having a huge half-price fall sale on lots of other coastal furniture by Universal, Hooker, Riverside, Seawinds, and Capri, including big sales on patio furniture by Berlin Gardens, Lloyd Flanders, Telescope, Kingsley Bait, and Windward. All pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price, and in-stock rugs are on sale too. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in Vero Beach, next to Planet Fitness. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and be sure to shop our outlet store directly across the street.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Ooh, have a sunshine day. Sunshine.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio at Vero Beach, and I'm Keith McDonald here with Mike and Todd and Steve. We're back. I'm always fumbling with that. Every
you're having
time.
a tough time getting words out of your mouth there.
Yeah. Anyway, we got some tech talk for you. Gary in Fort Pierce says, hey guys, great to hear you on the radio again. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm restoring a 65 Chevy 2. Do you think it's okay to use spray can primer for the spot repair areas? I have my car in epoxy primer now, but fixing damaged areas, I have gone through the epoxy primer to metal, and I still prime the car with a high build primer and sand it. But then I'll seal it before I paint. I look forward to your input. So what does he do?
Todd?
Well, the breakthroughs, the metal breakthroughs, I just get you a can of like some etching primer.
Oh, yeah.
They make it in green, gray, and black, and just cover it because he already said he's gonna prime it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
This is where you get into the territory where you don't want to mix too many products because you could have a lot of bad adhesion or some kind of reaction.
Well, when you get new fenders, they're already black. Is that a coating on them?
yeah, it's electrobate coating.
Oh, so now after that, you're going to spray it again with primer?
I would.
And then,
if you're gonna
seal it. You're going to seal that first? I don't know. You tell me.
would prime it.
You prime it first.
Some guys like epoxy, put an epoxy primer. I'm not a fan of epoxy.
Okay.
So I would sand it, and any breakthroughs I would hit with a little bit of etch primer.
Right.
And then I would prime it with a good 2K urethane primer.
Okay.
Good urethane primer.
Perfect.
There you go, Gary.
Yeah.
Okay, Cooper in Port St. Lucie says, guys, I need your expertise replacing my headliner in a 70 Vista Cruiser. It's not a show car, just a very nice daily driver. I'm looking for cost, value, ease of repair. I'm not against sending it out, but what about getting the fabric? I think it comes in two halves, and the part that needs the most attention will be the front half, of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Vista Cruiser doesn't it have lights on the top? Oh, it doesn't have like
It
glass
has
windows.
those lights,
The glass windows
on
around.
the top, yeah.
I just saw a guy use instead of fabric in his headliner, they put vinyl.
Oh, really?
A vinyl headliner.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before, and it actually looked pretty good. A vinyl headliner. He says it's a lot easier to keep clean.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it would be definitely. Yeah.
Most of it's just all in the prep work and the way you glue it down and what you use. That's the hardest thing.
Vista Cruisers though, they're taking in some big money though lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, wagons are definitely starting to get big money.
Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely. All right. So there you go. The headliner fabric style for all Vista Cruisers is called Premium Non-Perforated. And you get the two-piece headliners plus 1.5 yards of matching material from ProFit. ProFit.com, I guess.
Yeah.
And they'll send you color samples too. And the cost for the headliners, this guy wrote, was $350.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
All right, Max in Palm Bay asks, this is an old question.
Yeah.
I know the original 70 Boss 429 didn't come with AC because of space issues, but I want to drive my Mustang this summer, and I'm checking if there's any aftermarket systems that would work nowadays in a Boss 429. It's a Mach 1 that I'd like to put the 429 into. So.
Well, doesn't Vintage Air?
Vintage, Classic Air.
Yeah, they all.
That's what they're on back order.
Right. That's the biggest problem. Everything's on back order lately.
Oh, really?
Even parts I'm trying to get for my 55. Every time you call somebody, I'm still waiting for front end bolts.
Wow.
I love it too when they say they have it in stock and then they'll email you the next day and say, "Oh, sorry, we didn't have that in stock." Well, it says you got 18 in stock.
Right.
Well, is the 429 in a well, okay, in the Mach 1, it's the same body, so they don't have to do anything with the shock tower, right? Any of that, or do they?
No.
Well, if it already came with a 429, it's not like what Todd did with
the Mach 1. I'm saying
Vintage Air or Classic Air. They're gonna make a system that fits it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. True.
Yep.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I'm sure they do.
All right.
Yeah.
Now the Illuminator engine that you put in, does that have air?
Yeah.
And what year Mustang is that?
69.
69 Mustang. Okay.
Okay. Benny in Vero Beach says, hello.
What's up?
I just picked up a new set of AC Delco R45 TS plugs, which I've probably bought 10 zillion of those, and to go with freshly installed HEI conversion in my 70 Chevelle 396. They're all gapped at 0.045. I thought they were set up right out of the box for points at 0.35. Maybe not, but will be at the outer limit for the HEI. So where do you guys set them usually? Or do you even set them?
Yeah, I think 45.
45?
Yeah.
I thought they were at 45.
Yeah, I don't think they preset the
45?
plugs, though. I don't think they preset plugs, though.
I was thinking
They're
35.
already
They're there, but I don't think they just say,
I don't think they would have
all
them.
44s are all preset to 35. I think
No, because certain ones
Yeah,
be
I don't-
different too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Certain
think
heat
they're.
range plugs, certain cylinder heads too.
Yeah, I don't think they're set at 35.
Yeah, you just happen to put the gauge in there and might have said 35.
Well, it always says too, you should check it because they always get beat up and dropped.
Right.
I can't tell you how many spark plugs I put in cars and they're cracked.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is put a plug in without checking the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do
And then
that.
some of your gaps are, some of your spark plugs are non-gappable.
Oh, now he's
really?
he's switching to HEI. Does that matter with the gap in
Well,
the plug?
45 would probably be even better.
Yeah.
I would say with an HEI,
Oh,
definitely.
All right.
All right. We got one more.
Yeah,
we
go
have
ahead.
time too.
Yeah.
Bruce in West Melbourne says, guys, I have a 383 block. We had something identical to this last week. I have a 383 block sitting in my garage that a friend gave me. I'm thinking of dropping it into my Duster 340. Would it be noticeable improvement in performance? And the question we had last week was very similar to that.
Very similar to that. Yeah.
The 340 is lighter, and I think it's faster. It's the same stroke, right? Same stroke, lighter block, and the internals, lighter block and internals. So all things being equal, the 340s will outrun in 383. So
Right.
why pay for the weight penalty to go slower? Does it seem like that was the same question?
Yeah,
we got
it
last
was
week?
pretty close to that. Yeah, because
Huh.
you're talking about the 340s and the 383s, and
Yeah.
which engine do you like? Todd?
What, 440?
440 better than the 383?
Yeah,
Yeah.
big block, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
better than the 340.
I've always liked
Don
the 340. I've just
There's
always
no
thought the
substitute for
340
cubic
was a
inches.
great engine.
He had his show this weekend. Don Garlett's up there in Ocala.
I just seen some video with him starting up some old dragster.
Yeah.
This thing he hooked the front. It's just too cool.
Yeah, if you go to his show
He's
up
like
in Ocala,
90 some years
yeah,
old,
he's
man.
just a grumpy bastard, though.
Yeah, well, somebody needs to slap him around a little bit. Tell him.
But yeah, his show that they had, it's an old Mopar show up there in Ocala, and it's not too bad. It's pretty
Doesn't
good.
he charge a lot to get into that?
I really don't know. I've only walked through it. I've never had a car up there.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it gets pretty crowded. He charges you if you want to take a picture with him. He charges you if you want his autograph.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what I
He
saw.
never
yeah.
used to, but he does now.
Right.
But he's got, if you want Mopar, he's got plenty of engines up there that he'll sell. He sells parts up there. He does a bunch of stuff up
Hey,
there.
man, he's a businessman.
Okay. Yeah.
Capitalizing off of his history. You know?
There you go.
Making his retirement fund.
All right.
Right.
All right, so we're American. Wait a minute. We got another minute left.
Yeah, I got a minute. Hey, real
Mike,
quick.
tell us what you got.
If you listen to us in a podcast, there's a car show tomorrow up at Friendly's up in Indian Harbor Beach, right at A1A in Orgali. And then we were talking about the C.W. Willis Family Fun Day. That's November 18th from 10 to 2. That's at 3700 9th Street right here in Vero Beach. That's always a fun time. They have a good, it's like a diner there, right? Don't they have a breakfast there
Yeah.
too? Lunch?
Yeah.
You
Pretty
can
good
get a
food.
bunch of stuff there.
Yeah.
All right, then Saturday, December 2nd, Urban Tea and Ice Cream at 1910 Florida, A1A Indian Harbor Beach is having a car show. It's right in front of Lowe's, and that's Saturday, December 2nd from 3 to 6.
Okay.
And then we got Todd's big show. Todd, you want to talk about it?
We don't have time.
All right, we're out of here.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Classic Car Radio, and we are on every Saturday at 2 o'clock right on WAXE, The Patriot. We are out of here.
Put the pedal to the metal.